Excellencies, distinguished delegates, this session is held via an e-conference platform Kudo. You will be able to turn on your microphone and camera only when your request to speak has been submitted and accepted by the chair. We also welcome participants joining us via YouTube. May I ask all guests at the ESCAP hall to take their seats as we proceed with the session. It is now my pleasure to welcome the members of the Bureau, the chair of the 8th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development, Her Excellency Ms. Marasaini Buniwaka, and Ms. Katinka Vangenberg of ESCAP, Secretary of the Forum. And now I hand over the floor to Her Excellency Ms. Marasaini Buniwaka to proceed with the session of the Forum. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the meeting is called to order. For you and contains the procedural and organizational aspects of the forum. The chair summary, to be annexed to the report, will become available online on 30th March 2021 and will be open for comments on factual errors until the 4th of April 2021. In addition, discussed during the roundtables and displayed during agenda item 3 yesterday. This will allow our region to transmit the full deliberations to the high-level political forum for information purposes. This addendum will not be adopted. We will now consider the report as contained in Doc E/ESCAP/RFSD/2021/L.2. Before we proceed with agenda item 5, I would like to invite the Secretary to provide some housekeeping announcements.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Before we begin with the report, I would like to announce that it has come to our attention that the list of side events is incomplete. This will be amended by the Secretariat. I would also like to provide some Kudo reminders. We would like to remind everybody that to select the preferred UN language, the language selector with drop-down menu is available on the lower left of your screen. If you would like to make an intervention, kindly click Request to Speak button. When the chair calls upon you to take the floor, the microphone and camera icons will turn into red. Please click Unmute and turn on and deliver your intervention. We also ask you to stay on the floor language when you speak and to ensure that all other devices connected to Kudo in the same room are turned off to prevent echoes and interference. Do not click Release Mic until you have completed your intervention, as this would cancel your request. But once you have completed your intervention, kindly click Release Mic. For technical issues related to Kudo, kindly click Technical Support tab under the messaging icon and type your message there. Our technician will assist you shortly. And finally, while the Secretariat will be monitoring the message in Kudo, the Secretariat kindly requests that all substantive questions or interventions are to be raised through your delegation by using the Request to Speak button only. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and back over to you. Madam Chair, we see that you are muted.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we will now revert to the report. Are there any comments on the text of the report? I take it there are no comments on the text of the report before you?
Madam Chair, I see the Russian Federation taking the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. With your indulgence, would you kindly clarify we are going to adopt the report as a whole, or we gonna double check the paragraphs. It is not my intention actually to insist on going paragraph by paragraph, but I do have comments on some of those paragraphs, and with your indulgence, please guide me.
Madam Chair, if I may answer on behalf of the Secretariat.
Go ahead.
We had not planned to put on the entire report, but we have our editor sitting here to assist us in incorporating any changes that you would like to bring to our attention.
Sorry, it's my fault. I missed it. Could you kindly repeat it?
We are ready to listen to any observations that you may want to share with the distinguished delegates here. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Am I right in my understanding that we are now considering the report and the agenda item adoption of the report, and the purpose of this exercise is to adopt the report, correct?
This is correct, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are fine with the report, but we do have minor changes to the text of the report, which would make it palatable for us for adoption. I would like to invite your attention to the paragraph 11. Paragraph 11 of the report, first line, which now reads, the forum considered the summaries of the discussions, etc. So our proposal is to delete considered and replace it by took note of. And the text would read, the forum took note of the summaries of the discussions, etc. We are not proposing a new, this is paragraph 11. Yes, thank you. Then may I kindly invite attention of distinguished colleagues to the paragraph 11. The third line from the bottom line, which reads, further, the conclusions of 9 round tables. I invite attention of the Secretariat to paragraph 14. The third line from the bottle, which reads, further, the conclusions of the 9 round tables, etc. Delete the conclusions, replaced it by the summaries. The summaries. And the last amendment would relate to paragraph 17. Paragraph 17. Also, the third line from the bottom, which now reads, containing the priority actions of the round table. Delete priority actions, replace it by summaries. Those are 3 amendments that we deem important for this report from our point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate. We have taken note of your comment. Are there any other comments in relation to the report? Madam Secretary, I will need your guidance if there are any other delegates wishing to take the floor in relation to the report.
Madam Chair, I do not see any other delegation raising their flag. I also do not see any online request being submitted to us to speak.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, then that will conclude the review of the report, taking into consideration the comments by Russia. And I propose that the report is adopted and conveyed to the 77th session of the Commission in April and to the high-level political forum on sustainable development in July. Are there any final comments?
Madam Chair, I see the distinguished delegate of the Russian Federation raising his flag.
Russia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From your comments and wording, it was not clear enough to us in which form we proceed to the adoption of the report. I quote, you mentioned that the notes and the comments of my delegation are taken note of. I would like to hear from you in which specific format we adopt the report with the amendments which my delegation proposed. I would like to be sure about that. Thank you.
The comments that you have made have been taken account of, and the report will be amended accordingly. Russian Federation, is that clear?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My apologies for nitpicking.
That's all right.
I have to say that it is not actually palatable for us to accept those wording that relates the action to the future time. In your words, will be taken note of, and the report will be amended. If we amended the report, we amended here and now, and I would like to be clear that we amended, we adopted with the amendments as proposed by my delegation. Thank you.
Yes, Russia, the report is being amended in accordance with the comments you have made. So you can take it that the amendments have been made in relation to the report. And the report will be adopted with the comments that you have made, the amendments that we have made.
Madam Chair, the Russian Federation has raised, the distinguished delegate of the Russian Federation has raised his flag again.
Russia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Blame it on me, actually. I did not make myself clear enough. My question was why we use this formula. The report will be adopted. If it is adopted now, not in future. So that's what I'm seeking to get as a clarification and a crystal clear understanding, that the report is adopted, but will not be adopted is not something that would be palatable for us. Thank you.
We haven't reached that stage yet, Russia, because we're still talking about the clarification, the amendments you've made. My next step is to have the report adopted.
Oh, that is very helpful. My apologies for not getting actually the substance of your explanation, but I thank you very much for this additional clarification. And taking that into account, we are fine with the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Russia. Are there any other countries with comments on the report?
Madam Chair, I see no flags raised.
If there's none, then it is my honor to announce that the report has been adopted.
Madam Chair, the Secretariat is cleaning up the document and we will screen the report with the proposed amendments provided by the distinguished delegate of the Russian Federation while we are waiting the arrival of our Executive Secretary to join us here on the podium for the closing.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Madam Chair, congratulations on the adoption of the report. I would now like to invite Ms. Armida Salcialdis-Javana, Under Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, to join the rostrum. The floor is yours, Madam Chair.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, participants. Let us now move to agenda item 6, closing of the forum. Over the last 4 days, we have deliberated on a number of significant issues to the region as we move towards charting the path for inclusive and sustainable development in the Asia-Pacific region. Madam Executive Secretary, I wish to extend my gratitude to the Secretariat for its effective organization and servicing of this forum, and recognize the work of interpreters, facilities management, security, and all those from the Secretariat who work behind the scene to make this hybrid session a memorable one. I now have the honor to invite Ms. Alice Jabana to deliver her closing remarks. Madam Executive Secretary, you have the floor.
Excellency Madam Mereseni Rakuita Funiwaka, Chair of the Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, dear participants. Today we close the 8th Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development after 4 days of listening and building shared understanding on COVID-19 pandemic and how it has set back implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. But I leave here optimistic on the pathways to bringing sustainable development goals back on track. The forum demonstrated clearly that our region is fully committed to engaging all stakeholders, member states, youth, civil society, and the private sector to lay the groundwork for policy innovations and solutions. In short, reaffirming our faith on the critical role of inclusive multilateralism. Your engagement has been instrumental in making the discussions vibrant and solutions-oriented. Please allow me to highlight a few salient points that were discussed during the course of this forum. The annual SDG Partnership Report 2021, prepared jointly with ADB and UNDP, highlighted that we must commit to avoiding a risk of a K-shaped recovery. We do this through accelerating digitalization in areas such as e-commerce, online learning, and digital payments. By leveraging digital connectivity, decision makers can enable equitable digitalization in strengthening the Asia-Pacific region's sustainable and resilient recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. The organization of 9 roundtables to assess progress in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, organized through our multi-agency partnership, produced a clear set of actionable policy recommendations to secure a green and resilient recovery. Even though there are significant vulnerabilities, especially in the countries with special needs, I'm pleased to note that governments have focused on keeping people at the center of this recovery plan. These insightful policy actions, underpinned by policy experiences and best practices, can further ensure recovery process swift and effective at the regional, sub-regional, and national levels. The policy discussions also highlighted that member states are innovating and that the voluntary national reviews process is evolving. Cities are developing their voluntary local reviews. The forum provided a unique opportunity to link the national, regional, and global dimensions of the 2030 Agenda through the UN system-wide results in our region. It was evident that the reform of the UN development system has borne fruit. The UN team in Asia and Pacific is better placed to support our member states in overcoming new and emerging development challenges. It was heartening to see that member states express appreciation of our integrated support and scaling up solution through the regional collaborative platform and issue-based coalition. Allow me to recognize the commitment and leadership of our chair and vice chairs in steering the forum to its successful conclusion. ESCAP, indeed the entire UN family, stands ready to work with all stakeholders in taking forward the 2030 Agenda in this region. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincerest thanks and appreciation to every member of the Secretariat team for their hard work and professionalism in making this event a great success and meaningful for all our partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Executive Secretary. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and guests. We have now reached the end of our program and of the 8th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. I bid you farewell and look forward to meeting you again, hopefully in person, not least at the subsequent Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. I hereby declare the forum concluded.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, thank you for your participation in the 8th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development and for visiting the United Nations Conference Center in Bangkok. As you leave the premises, we kindly remind you to observe social distancing protocols. Have a safe journey. Thank you.